We are live. Heartland Sports here, back at it for another video. I'm here with my friend Eric. How you doing today?
Oh, doing good. How you doing?
Not too bad myself. It's about almost 11 in the evening here on Eastern Seaboard as we wrap up this video on a nice Tuesday, or at least down here it's been nice. I don't know about up there.
It's decent. I mean, it's like 60 degrees, 55 degrees for most of the day. Not bad, not bad. Didn't have rain like the past couple of days. We didn't get rain. We're supposed to get rain again later this week. So, is what it is. You get a decent day, and I'll take it.
Alright, so this video we're pretty much doing the top 5 sports stadiums, I guess, slash venues that we'd want to visit. And obviously it's 5 each, so we'll each say our 5 and state maybe a little reason why for each one, and then we'll go from there. So I'll start with my 5, and these are in no particular order, by the way, at least for me.
Same here, no particular order.
Okay, no particular. Okay, so the first one I went to was Yankee Stadium, the current one, obviously. I've never been there. That's one of those things where I guess it's kind of a historical experience, because obviously good players have played there in the past years since they opened that one back in 2008, I'm pretty sure it is. So there's not much to say that one, but the next one is definitely Truist Park, the new Atlanta Braves Stadium they got a few seasons ago. I've only seen games in the Turner Field, which is now a Georgia State football field. So I definitely would have interest in seeing games at the Truist Park. Yeah, it seems like a nice place. It's about 15-20 minutes northwest of the city, and it's a little more secluded, so I definitely would want to get over there sometime the next year or two to see a ball game. Going on to the third one, I said Oracle Park in San Francisco, where the Giants play.
Okay.
That's gone through a lot of name changes. It used to be called AT&T Park, and now they changed to Oracle Park. And yeah, but that whole scenic area is quite phenomenal. Obviously, with all the people in the canoes and kayaks right over the right field, waiting for home run balls to come over, and the views obviously as it's right. I mean, I know the stadium's not really facing downtown, but its back is to downtown, but the whole Bay Area view, and of course there's plenty to do in the city right there, right before the ball game. So that's definitely one I'd want to do. Going on to my fourth one, I put Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Atlanta United soccer team and the Atlanta Falcons play. I haven't been to the stadium at all. Definitely one I want to go to. The environment on television when you watch the soccer games or the football games is chaotic, and obviously the soccer games have been selling out a lot more tickets than the football team. Upwards of 60 to 70,000. In fact, Atlanta set an attendance record before the end of last year, having the most fans at one game. So definitely Mercedes-Benz is definitely a top. Obviously, the stadium itself is quite spectacular. On the inside, they have this whole where the jumbotron would be in the middle, I guess. If you're looking at like an indoor stadium, they have this whole ring kind of thing that circles around up top when the roof is closed, and it's really cool to see that. And yeah, that's one I'm definitely looking forward to. And then the last one would be T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. That one, I say, is kind of another experience one. Ever since they opened that very few years ago, obviously teams like the Golden Knights have been playing there, and that arena as well is definitely a high intensity, high volume place, and especially in the playoffs. Obviously it's Vegas, so everything's a show. So definitely, while I want to go to visit Las Vegas anytime in the coming years, that would definitely be a place to visit, to see a Golden Knights game and experience the nice show that they offer. So those are my top five. Curious to see who your top five sports venues are.
I'm just gonna roast Atlanta real quick. You mentioned how the Falcons' atmosphere is very electric. You know that a couple years ago they got caught pumping in crowd noise and got fined and docked a draft pick for that. So that's just really funny that you mentioned it's electric and they literally got docked for a draft pick for pumping in big crowd noise. It's actually funny too that you mentioned Oracle Park because that was one that I almost considered because, you know, the whole atmosphere of being able to see, you know, being in, you know, just in a canoe watching a baseball game, kind of being able to watch a baseball game, that's something that I kind of want to do. But for me, my choices would be, so I've already been to Fenway Park, obviously I live in the Northeast, so I'd want to go to Wrigley Field because that's another ballpark that has a ton of history behind it. It was opened in 1914, I want to say, which would have been 2 years after Fenway Park opened. So it's just like, you know, all the history that's been there. And of course the ivy on the wall, that's just something that I'd want to see in person. Of course, as a Phillies fan, Cole Hamels threw his last game as a Philly there. He actually threw a no-no against the Cubs, but just there's been so much history, so many World Series, so much heartbreak, so much love. Steve Bartman incident was right there. It's just, there's so much stuff going on in Wrigley that I want to go there, I want to be able to see it, and that's definitely something that, if I get a chance to go to the Midwest, I definitely will be seeing Wrigley Field. It's like a big, absolute must to me. Just, you know. The other one, another baseball stadium that I'd like to visit, believe it or not, and I'm probably one of very few people that's going to say this, it's the Oakland Coliseum. I was debating between this and where the LA Dodgers play for my last spot, and I just kind of went with the Oakland Coliseum just because of all the trash that people talk about and everything like that, and the fact that it's completely run down and everything. I just kind of want to see it in person. You know, that's another ballpark that has a ton of history with it, of course more modern. It's where the whole Moneyball took place too, so it's more I want to be able to see the Athletics play in part, but, you know, just the Coliseum, it's pretty much the last dual-use stadium in use it was. I would have wanted to see a football game there because of the center, like, 30-yard line had the dirt path from the infield in it, but now the Raiders are officially moved out of Oakland, so unfortunately it's just a baseball game at this point for me, and that's fine. I'm fine with seeing a baseball game too. The parks just look so bad, but it's fine. I want to see a football game, but I'm fine with seeing a baseball game there. My third would be Lincoln Financial Field, where the Philadelphia Eagles play. Yes, I am a huge Eagles fan, and I've not seen the Eagles play in Philadelphia. That's just because it's a long drive for me. I've never, and the tickets are expensive and all that good stuff, especially take a plane down there, get a hotel room. You're talking a lot of money, all things considered. So I've never had the opportunity to go down there. I would like to, especially with the whole fact that it's so wind powered now. They got the wind turbines up there. It's pretty cool how they're doing that, and just the history that's been there. You know, it's 2003, but was when it was open to the public. But it just seems like something that I definitely want to go to. I have seen the stadium in person, and I got pretty close to it, but the stadium was closed, so I couldn't. And it was in August, so they actually might have been doing some work, because I think they had a preseason game coming up when I saw it a couple days from there, and there's a chance that guys were in there and all that good stuff. I would have wanted to go there and take a tour, but we didn't really have the time anyway. My fourth stadium I'd want to visit is the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota. You know, very beautiful stadium from the day they built it. I remember when the Metrodome collapsed in 2010, and then they opened the U.S. Bank Stadium. I remember when they were showing the art, like how they intended it to look, and I was just astonished by how beautiful it looked. And I definitely want to go there. And of course, it doesn't hurt that the Eagles won their first and so far only Super Bowl in that stadium. And it's such a beautiful stadium that I definitely want to see it one day. And for my last stadium, this one's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but the Madison Square Garden, in New York, and I would want to see either team, Rangers or Knicks. I mean, I prefer to see the Rangers, but I'd be okay with seeing the Knicks just because I want to be able to go there. Yes, I live in the Northeast, and I have not been there, but I also don't really go to New York City all that much. It's just kind of out of the way, and it's always so expensive if you want to go to a game in New York. I have been to Yankee Stadium. I went to the old Yankee Stadium, so to speak, the one that they closed down, after 2008, 2009. I did go to that one. So I definitely wanted to include something in New York. And, Madison Square is just something that's so popular. It's been a cultural icon for years, because don't forget, they mentioned it in Futurama, except they call it the Madison Cube Garden. So it's just something that I want to see. I want to be able to see in person. But yeah, that would be my top 5. In no particular order, my top 5.
Those are interesting. Yeah, if I had to pick a 6th one, probably put MSG on that list. It's definitely an iconic and historic place for many years. That obviously not only athletes have been in, but musical legends like Billy Joel, for example, has recorded. Billy Joel has recorded. Sir, I knew you were gonna say that. Has the record number of shows, over 100 shows he's played at that thing. It's pretty ridiculous, but many huge iconic musicians and artists and stuff perform there, so it's definitely a huge place. So yeah, that's pretty much the top 5 from each of us, Eric and I, Patrick. And we'll definitely have more videos coming up. Obviously Friday, we are still planning on the New York Yankees full history video. That'll be a couple hours. This one, the New York Yankees is looking like that's going to be one that we'll do live. Because now that I think about it, if I record it separately and uploaded it, it would take hours and hours. Even though we wouldn't have to edit anything, it would still take long time. I kind of want to go up within the next day instead of like 2 days later. But so we're gonna do that one live, most likely on Friday. And right now, we were debating whether the morning or afternoon, and I was looking, I don't know about you, Eric, but I was looking more toward the afternoon now. Probably sometime in the early afternoon. We'll figure out a time by probably tomorrow evening. We'll figure out a deadline time. But yeah, so that's definitely the first history team video that we're doing. So that'll be big. And then from there, we'll do more team videos, and we'll definitely branch out to athlete videos individually as well. So
oh yeah, if you got any recommendations for any athletes that you want us to cover that actually have history to cover, like not some rookies that are just getting called up, or like first or second, third year players, definitely feel free to leave a comment, let us know, or send us a message, either on Instagram or Twitter at Heartland Sports. Definitely. I will update you guys on Twitter as to when we will be posting the New York videos, New York Yankees video, when we will be up, going live for it. So definitely stay tuned. But yeah, we've started compiling our research on teams and everything like that, and I am through the AL East, so you guys definitely will be getting AL East videos soon. Definitely ideally by the middle of May, all of the AL East will be out. It's going to be something that's going to take some time just because of all the effort that we have to put into it to make it sound right, make sure, fact check everything so we don't get false stories and everything like that. It's going to be exciting. I don't know how long the videos are going to be. That's going to be another thing. I don't want to just sound monotone and be talking about blah, 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 and bore you guys. So definitely, feel free to leave a comment and let us know if you don't want us to do the history of type of thing, or if you don't want to watch them, just don't worry about it. Just ignore our updates when we do them. Like we said a video earlier, we will be throwing in other videos as well. Like we won't just do 20 straight history ofs. We'll probably do like one, and then we'll do like a video about some sporting thing that happened, that day. Ideally, by the summertime, sports will be back on. So we'll see what happens.
And then definitely at the same time, there'll be a handful of videos that obviously, for example, like the New York Yankees one, that both Eric and I will be doing together. But at the same time, there will be some videos, some other teams, like probably the Orioles, for example. I don't know about the Orioles. Probably the Orioles, for example, where other videos will be mainly Eric doing them, or vice versa for other teams, outside of baseball, in my instance, I guess. But because I know Eric pretty much, if I'm correct, Eric, you pretty much want to go through every team pretty much.
Oh yeah, I got my information set aside. You guys will be hearing every team, of course. Like I said, I got all the AL East done. I got 2 teams of the AL Central done. I'll be starting the third either tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see how I feel. Let me just say I haven't done this much writing since high school. It's been a while. So it is what it is, but I'm looking forward to it. I will be covering, my next step will be NFL, and I'm going to try to start jumping around to maybe NHL. And I'm also going to try to do like maybe an MLB video or 2, and then jump into an NHL video, and then do an NFL and go back to MLB, just kind of bounce around. So if you're a fan of one sport, you don't have to sit there and just go, oh, okay, well, now I got to wait a month or 3 months before they start touching my sport. I'm going to consider doing basketball as well. That's going to be one that I'm not as sold on. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, alright. So thanks for watching this vid. Comment, like, subscribe, and like Eric said, if you have any suggestions for any other videos we haven't talked about, feel free to shoot him a tweet or slide in the DM on Instagram, and we'll definitely fulfill your request. So appreciate for watching, and thanks for joining me, Eric.
Live long and prosper, everybody.
And have a nice night. Thanks.